Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Yeah, this is Ace calling in, longtime Browns fan. After watching the game today and watching Kevin Stefanski as a game manager, number one, and then number two, critical decision making. As a head coach in the National Football League, he failed the Cleveland Browns. And I think that since he wants to do what's best for the Cleveland Browns, and this is what he said at his introductory press conference, he should give up play calling, and he should manage the game and manage the clock. It took us 5 minutes in the fourth quarter to get down to the end zone to even get a chance to throw the ball at BPJ, and unfortunately, he dropped that pass. But Kevin Stefanski needs to give up play calling and needs to be a head coach in the National Football League. I don't know what his deal is, but he has got to do better with this roster and $230 million under center. Go Browns.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. G-Bush, none of those type of moves will come until the offseason, but that might be something that's starting to get on the table. Is them, you can either be the head coach or you can call plays. Don't know if you can do both.
You see, I was doing this a little bit earlier during the year, and I was talking about a case where, certain coaches don't do a good enough job, and I think humans in general don't do enough job of watching other people's mistakes and then kind of trying to navigate those waters and try not to make the same mistakes other people did. Paying attention to that. One of the things that I thought was really tough for Hugh Jackson was Hugh Jackson just couldn't get over the play calling. He just couldn't get over the fact that, that's what he felt he did the best at one of his stops. And I was with the Raiders and with the Bengals, and I thought we had pretty good offenses. And and he lost fact of, you don't get paid to just be good on offense. Your job is tasked with the Cleveland Browns getting to the ultimate goal, which is going to the Super Bowl and becoming a perennial power in this league. And so if it takes the fact that you have to turn over something that you like, something that you really feel like you feel like an affinity towards, in order to progress the larger goal, then a leader has enough mental wherewithal and have enough honor and respect and wisdom to say, what do you want to be? Do you want to be known as the coordinator that that was the coach of a team but could never really get over the hump because you couldn't give up the play calling? Or do you want to be known as a guy who was a solution maker? He has solutions for things. You're a problem fixer. You all of those different things. Is that something you're going to be able to do? Because here's the reality of the situation. No one's going to know if you get fired, if you call good plays or not. You might be able to be a great coordinator somewhere else, but you said you wanted to be a head coach, didn't you? Make sure the defense is right. Make sure that there's no penalties. Be a guy that can be in a defensive huddle, moving around. Be a person that can lend a hand over on the other side of the defensive coordinator room, where you can be hands-on with everything. I remember one time, a really quick story, when I was in corporate America, I used to manage 50 people. And I used to be great with the hands-on stuff, right? I used to be awesome with it, motivating people. That's my best job. But my manager said, hey, Gary brought me in. He said, well, look, I sent you an email 2 weeks ago, and I never got a reply from it. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, I'll get to it. And he said, plus, it looks like a couple of these timesheets got turned in a little late past the deadline. And he said, you're great at the things you're great at, but those aren't the things that'll keep you in the job. The things that'll keep you in the job are the things that you improve on that you're not good at. And that dawned on me and it hit me. Being a leader and being responsible for a lot of things, that's the part. That's it. You're responsible not for what you like to do, but with everything a part of the job is. So Kevin Stefanski, if he asks, what is your job? He's in charge of the defense, special teams, offense, penalties, rotations, all of that. So I think if he can take a step back, and he's smart enough to figure this out, if you hire out Van Pelt and he's been in these positions with you before, let him roll. He done been in here. He knows how you think. If you trust in what he is as a coordinator, let him do his job, and you evolve to be able to be a bigger CEO. That's just my 2 cents. He may do it, he may not. But like you said, for most, it will be on the table.